La 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 la. Today we will talk about Axie Infinity. It's one of my favorite projects in crypto space, like ever, right? So this is like quite close to my heart, is what I would say. Um, Full disclosure, I hold Axie Infinity shards, which is the token. So that and none of the things I say here is financial advice, but we will just go over the project and I will tell you why I like it, and we'll go over an article which YCB wrote, which is also very amazing. So, just to give you an intro, Axie Infinity is a digital collectible game which is inspired by Pokemon and Tamagotchi, if that's how you pronounce it. And you get to own these little cute little creatures who you can battle against other players, and you can earn rewards by playing the game. So it's basically a play to earn game. And of course, these little axes are NFTs. So that's that means you have complete ownership over these items. So we'll just go over this show we did on B21's channel, the Desi Crypto Show, which I produce. And Jihos, who's the co-founder, he explains Axie in a very nice manner. So let's hear him out.
So Axie Infinity is a blockchain game. It's inspired by games we all grew up playing, like Pokemon, Tamagotchi. So you can battle and collect these kind of adorable creatures called Axies.
Yep, they are damn cute.
But the thing that makes it different is that we allow our players to have true digital property rights. So there are certain markets, right, within our games that are completely controlled by the players.
So what does this mean is basically if you played Fortnite or even CS:GO, you buy those skins. You do not have the rights to those skins. Riot or Epic owns the rights to those skins or characters, but in Axie Infinity, you own everything you buy.
There are in-game resources that are actually ERC20 tokens, and the only place to actually get these tokens, if you want to use them, is by either buying them or playing the game to earn them. So that's Axie Infinity. You know, we see it as much more than a game. We see it as a revolution, a movement to really bring freedom to gamers.
Yep. So this is what Chihos, who's the co-founder, said, which I agree, right? Like they're bringing on a play to earn revolution, and it's quite interesting. So like you can breed your axes to create more axes, so that's kind of cool, um, if you ask me. And again, it's a battle game, so if you can think of Clash of Clans or even Pokemon for that matter, uh, that's something on the lines of you can think. So look at the partners, right? You have Ubisoft, like everyone knows Ubisoft. You have Aave, you have Binance, you have Samsung, you have Delphi Digital, Kyber, Maker, and even Upbit. So these are pretty big names. This is their own marketplace where you can buy Axes, and you can buy the land and items and whatnot. So average price for last 24 hours for one Axie has been this, and for last 70 day has been this. So pretty cute, right? All these are details maybe we'll go over somewhere some other time when we talk about the game, but today we're talking about the project. So let's get into the post written by YCB. YCB is a huge Axie bull, if I may. Like he's like one of the community members. He runs a podcast called YCB Show where he talks about Axie. So it's quite interesting, right? So he's written this article which says why Axie Infinity will change the world. We will go over it, and I will also give my thoughts and opinions on, uh, like, what he has to say. But like, his breakdown is completely awesome. So let's go over it, right? So he says Axie was born in the bear market. Axie, I think it started in 2018, sorry, 2018 or late 2017, when the market of crypto had fallen. Basically, what this means is, most of the projects, even if you see in stock market, they do IPOs in the bull run, right? This is a bull run where everyone has money and everyone is excited to throw money at projects. But Axie wasn't born in a bull market, it was born in a bear market, and it took 3 years or 2 years or 4 years, whatever, right, for them to build this from ground up. So a lot of NFT projects or blockchain games you see are being built in 2021 are probably just money grabs for the developers, or like, marketers, because there probably is no development, right? So he says it's easy to launch a project in upswing, lot of money, but, right, it was born in 2017 when the bubble was burst. NFTs were lame, and the idea of play to earn did not exist. Projects were failing left, right, and center during this time. Few made it where we are today. Honestly, like 99% of the projects launched in 2017 are dead. They're nowhere to be seen, right? I've lost so much money in stupid ICOs. But that's fine. That's part of life. So, in basic term, that's the long the project has tested time and has been surviving, right? So that's what he's saying. The projects that are being built have not endured time. Axie has completely. So this is honestly the biggest part why I personally think Axie will make it, because they have an engaging, and I think engaging is a very small word used, right? Like, I think Axie probably has the best communities in the crypto industry. uh, if you go to Discord, you can see people helping each other out. They're talking, they are, like, making memes. It's just crazy, right? Like, even if you don't know anyone, people are still friendly and they help you through it, right? So even initially, like, when I had some questions, I used to ask on Twitter, and people just responded about Axie. So it's quite nice. It's quite nice. It makes you feel homely, um, when it comes to the community. So Arctic, who was like a community member and moderator, this is something he said, right? Uh, Communities are fickle. The emotional pulse of common communities can be directly correlated to the price of whatever the asset is. Cool. They come for the hype and don't stay long. This is what happens with most crypto communities, right? Like, if you're even talking about, uh let's say, Safe Moon, for that matter, people are coming in for the hype, but hey, we know, right, it'll be few weeks, then it's all bust, and all these pump and dump projects, right, quick money grabs. Nope. The communities that are built around making short term profit will never make it, right? The lot of them there isn't enough to keep them going when things get worse, right? Like, if the price falls, you see people moving out of the project as quickly as they can. Community is different in Axie. Uh, the Axie Discord is filled with 50,000 plus people that want to help the project succeed and make newcomers feel welcomed and answer all their questions, or make even Axie fan art. We all have one purpose in mind: to make Axie the best it can be. Mm. This purpose is what strong communities are built on. Cool, cool. He talks about, like, hey, people are hanging out with each other. Um, talking about things, even like even which is not Axie. And he said that I spend more time talking to digital friends all over the world than his physical friends. So it's quite cool, right? Cool is an understatement, of course, but like it's quite interesting. Jiho, the co-founder guy we saw in the video, says we are building a nation. This is bigger than a game. Okay, sure. We'll talk about this later. Axie has a lot of user-generated content. Very nice line. Um, so basically, what is user-generated content is basically people on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok talking about the project, and these are the people who are not the team members, right? These are the people who are actively using the game and writing about it. So YCB, who the person who wrote this article, and this is a user generated content. There is a YouTuber called CA Nyan Kagnan. I don't know how to pronounce it. He makes YouTube videos on Axie, and it's amazing, right? So Axie did a launch of Ronin, which is their layer 2 mainnet. They moved from ETH to Ronin. And he made video on how to move your Axies within like 30 minutes or 15 minutes, including editing and recording and whatnot, right? So that is something which is not, you cannot buy that. You cannot buy that. This is something which is very special. So people even make fan arts, right? They're all over Twitter and Rarible or OpenSea, which is quite cool because look at these creatures. They're so cute, right? They're so adorable, right? Like, so that's the thing, right? So people make fan arts of this, and that spreads like wildfire, because you see, hey, what is this? Okay, never mind. What is this? And then you come to the game and then you play. That's quite cool. The only marketing Axie has done is none, and this is how it should be. Strong community, word of mouth is the best piece of marketing. Cool. See, Kagyan, this guy I was talking about, very nice. And once the article is written or video is edited, it can be watched billion times with no extra work. This is amazing, right? Because there's no cost of uh content to the team, because community is the marketing team. Axie is on phone. Okay, so I think most of you following me are Indians, and which I hope it changes really soon, because we're building a global community, right? Axie Infinity is on mobile, uh, which is very cool because a lot of gaming is happening on mobile devices, right? Like 99% are smartphone users. So and actually most of them are Android users, and some of them are like, even PC users. So you see how the games like PUBG, Clash of Clans, Free Fire, for that matter, what other games, like there are a lot of games, right, like on mobile, and people play hours and hours. So it's quite cool. And this is a completely different target audience than people who play CS:GO. So it's new generation. People being born with phones are gaming on phones, because you don't need, it's a low barrier to entry than having a few $1,000s worth of PC, right? Like your phone does the work. um Axie Infinity is social. Okay, so I will read this, okay, because like this is very nicely written. The point runs to the parallel point that community is at a certain direction, and which is important here. Here I think he talks about how people spend their time in the game and will spend their time in the future. So he's saying that when people play Axie, they recommend it to their family members and friends too. Listen to this. We have entire villages in Philippines where they come together and play Axie Infinity. This is happening in India as well, right? People are sitting together, right, and playing Axie. it's a communal thing, right? It's a communal gameplay, which if you look at it, it sounds like it should give you goosebumps, because that's how uh we like to do things in a community. So it's quite cool. He also says parents teaching their young kids to play strategically and enjoy together, families bond over Axie. This is something, it's irreplaceable, right? There's nothing you can do to make this happen. This has to happen on its own. um a lot of talk about metaverses, digital land. Axie is underrated on this trend, and it will capitalize. Um, there is a land gameplay which has not been released yet. So when that releases, think of RuneScape, World of Warcraft, Clash of Clans, but new dimensions built on top of it. People from all over the world will create guilds, teams, structures, and interact and engage with each other while playing. So yeah, you can create your own clans, you can create your own groups, and you can attack other kind of people. So it's like a fun uh, thing, right? Like how in school you have different houses which compete against each other. That's something you could be doing here as well, right? Factions. So that's quite cool. Oh, people can come together and go on boss chimera battles or raider PvE dungeon or visit events. Okay, people can go together. If you've seen Fortnite, they do these artist get-togethers and like they play for it. So something like that, or like Pokemon, where you have to go and fight a big monster together, and they earn like different items and whatnot, right? So something like that, and all this can happen while being play to earn, right? Like so, they are playing to earn. You make money while playing Axie, and when with PUBG and other games, you're spending money, right, on battle passes and whatnot, right? So that's what separates Axie from the entire ecosystem, right? um this, I think this is important, so I will cover it, right? Lunacia, or that's what the entire ecosystem will be called. People would want to advertise on it. Honestly, as my company, I have thought about this. Maybe we'll talk to geos and see what we can do to advertise in Axie, and let's see how, right? People renting out space of your land to allow outside companies to advertise. That is cool. Or large companies buying up essential land spots so they can advertise to users. Awesome. Or companies contributing to the treasury of Axie Infinity to sponsor events and tournaments. This treasury money generally gets distributed in to all the Axie holders who are staking. So imagine, right? Like what could happen. So some may not like this idea, but it's, remember to see how outside world adds idea. Sure, and it spreads to the wider audience, right? So I'm really interested in marketing in metaverses. So I have been doing a lot of research on that as well. Maybe we'll talk about it in some other podcast. Should I make it even bigger? Cool. Axis could have its own TV shows, right? Because art, breeding paths, level up paths, mistakes, double mistakes, these are all in-game things and different things that Axis have, and a little bit of roar can make a amazing TV show. Sure, instead of evolving like Pikachu, Axis level up. Okay. Axie is building in its own sidechain Ronin. I told you about Ronin, right? Like it's their layer 2 solution, where you have 100 free transactions instead of paying gas fees on Ethereum. So they will be moved. They moved to Ronin completely, which happened yesterday. So pretty cool, right? Mm, right. So he's saying 2 clicks, land got moved. He got an NFT for doing that. Pretty cool. This is interesting. There will be smart contracts on Ronin. Players and companies will be able to execute it as well. This opens opportunities for developers to create mini games inside of Lunacia, or use it to build projects outside of Axie, like Ronin Swap, right? Basically, a decentralized exchange where you can swap your SLPs, Axies, Ethereum, or anything for that matter. um Pretty cool, right? And you can just like try to make money by making a mini game. If you can code, that's cool, right? Esports and battle version 2, basically, uh this season they paid $50,000 in rewards, and $3,000 went to the number one. $3,000 in rewards, what you get? What I play Valorant, I get skins. Like, sorry, I don't know, I'm not Radiant, right? Like, you get skins or you get some points, or that's what you generally get when I used to play PUBG. Who cares? It's just brag worthy. You're getting real money and whatnot, right? And they think that people will come together and it will be a bigger thing, like a Fortnite World Cup or League of Legends, where people from all over the world will be playing with each other. And the Battles version 2, Ubisoft said that, hey, it's an amazing upgrade to the current battle system. Uh, and it also complements the land gameplay. Cool. So I think we're coming to an end. I will just go over this. Axis banking the bankless, truly creating digital economy. Pandemic, a lot of people went digital, and digital was like our only source of interaction, social interaction. So it's a bull case for games like Axie, right? And Axie is utilizing structure to create tokenomics, uh, which is incentivizing people to earn, right? SLPs, like he said, right? Philippines people are playing to earn SLP and making a living, right? People are selling and buying food and whatnot, right? SLP was just a test run or an experiment, and they will be adding more player to earn incentives, which will be even more complex. So you could be a farmer, you could be a potion maker, or a breeder, or a PvP battler, or a landowner, or even item smith. You can contribute to the economy of the game, and you will be able to make money out of it, and you'll be just you can earn a living by playing a game. That's dream job for people like kids. Even for me, man, I would love to play games because I love games. Yes. Yeah. We are creating new jobs in the world that has limitless and untapped potential. Cool. Axie will be free to play. Mm, so when you start out, you have to buy Axies, which have a very high cost. Let's say around $600 is, let's say, you have to start out, because you are buying an NFTs, which uh which you can breed and make more money and whatnot. But it's a barrier to entry, because not everyone has that money. So they will be having free to play Axes, which won't hamper with the economics of people who are buying. So you can read this in the article. I will not go over it. Strong partners, right? Ubisoft, Binance, Non Fungible, Animoca, Spark, Tap Radar. So this is what they have partnered with. Axie Tokenomics, those that is token economics, was designed with the help of Delphi Digital, and like apparently they do a very good job at making these, because they are a research firm and they invest in projects as well. Uh, you can check out their website. They're pretty cool, right? So you have to stake your axes in community's treasury, and you get yield around 40%, and there is lockup period for your rewards. So there is no instant sell pressure of axes you earn, right? You can stake for x amount of months. So that's that. There is a year lockup where you're staking rewards, so users can't dump. And this is what they did with the airdrop and um yeah, airdrop So like, you lock up tokens, so there is not instant dump. So this is what it is. Tokenomics, maybe we'll talk about it later, right? Because we have not covered a lot of tokenomics in this channel. So I don't want you to get confused. Land gameplay, basically, I think here he talks about like mini games and whatnot. No, let me see. So he's saying land is like layer one of Axie, Ethereum, right? Axie is Ethereum. You'll be able to do a lot of things, and where friends will be found, memories are made, we bond over families, and go to work all in one place. So pretty cool, right? Like network effect is basically what he's talking about, right? When lands will allow a lot more network effect to happen when you're playing in Axie. So this was a very nice article. Do check him out. I mean, this is quite cool. I will link this down below. And honestly, this is why we're bullish on Axie. We as in I am. And again, right, like not financial advice. This is the price of Axie right now. And even SLP hit all-time high price action due to Ronin movement, which is the layer 2. So you can look at these charts, right? The game, and this is actually driven by what do you say, the number of people who are joining the game, right? Let's just see if this, oh, never mind, right? Like the active users is going crazily up. This is what it is. So yeah, that's all. If you liked the video or my take on it, please write down below. Maybe you will get YCB to talk about, like, why he thinks Axie will change the world. That would have been a nice conversation as well. Um, yeah, yeah. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, guys. I know this is a bit big, but it's okay.